Yeah, this is my worktop. I've finally moved into my little room. I've got a little bit of space here. I'll quickly just buzz you around just over my shoulder. That's my display cabinet. There's some boxes of Hot Wheels there. Got some more Hot Wheels in that cabinet top and in the drawers, and that little box over there is full of Matchbox. Got Majorette, Corgi, Siku, Tomica. Up the top there is more Matchbox in boxes. So most of my stuff's in boxes, but I do have a few things on display. Got some books up there, look. And this is just to show you some idea what's going on in here. Over there's where my wife does all her stuff, but right at the back there you can see my record collection. But anyway, that's why we're not here for all that. We're here to have a look at stuff that I found at the market. So yeah, I pop into the market on a Wednesday morning just to see what they've got. And this time my favourite stall was there. He sells loads of stuff. I think I showed you a video of his stall before. But he has some stuff that he hadn't got out from under the counter yet. So I'm going to start up with this piece here. Lovely. So a 1961 or thereabouts Ferrari. Tells you underneath, Ferrari F1. Number 73. So there we go. At this particular time, Matchbox only had 75 cars in their lineup. I think it's missing the driver though, judging by that gaping hole there. You're still yet to find a complete one. I think this one's got a dodgy tyre as well. But there's that. Quite nice. Had to grab it really. Handy for spares, if anything. Nice wheels as well. And what else did I get? I picked up another one of these MG 1100s. This one's in pretty good condition actually, as you can see. It's got all its bits. It's actually, the paint on it is not too bad. It's probably the nicest original one that I've got right now. These were all for a pound each, so I felt quite privileged to be getting them for that. Another poundy. This is the Ford Capri. This one's probably from around about 1973. It's got a bit of a scratchy windscreen, which is a shame. But as a junkyard classic, that is cool. Capri Mark 1. There we go. Super fast, 1970. I thought the orange and black one was the original of this, which I do actually have one. And of course later on it popped an engine, a little Roller-matic. So this one, I suppose this must be from about 1972 or thereabouts, actually, because 1973 was the Roller-matic time. Pretty good condition, so I've got a bounce on that. Brilliant. Also found this, paid a bit more for this one. £2 actually. He had a couple of these. One was in pretty bad shape and this one was in really good shape. It was startling actually, the difference between the two castings. The only thing really wrong with this is a little bit of a damage on the decal. I do actually have one of these that was sent to me a while back by James Howe, and the one I just picked up is actually, I think, in slightly better condition. Much less tarnished and scraped around. So there we are. 2 Blue Sharks. I do believe that the Blue Shark is coming back. That'll be interesting to see. Absolute classic from super fast period. Love this car. Of course, again, this one came out as a Roller-matic with little turbo props at the back. Awesome. Finally, here it is. This is... There it is. I can't remember what number it is now. 21B. I think I picked up a 21B a while ago. This one is not in very good shape as far as paint goes, but it was okay for £1. I was happy to take it, to be honest, because it used to have a big decal down there, Aberdeen or Glasgow or something coaches on the top there. But funnily enough, my 21A is in really good shape. I've got one of these, I'm sure I've got one of these. I will find out when I do the coach video. But a lovely piece nonetheless. And this looks like it's probably from around about 1955 or thereabouts. probably 56. I haven't actually researched it again, to be fair, but you can tell it's old. It's got the metal wheels, it's got the clamped ends and the mushroom, big mushroom on there. These ones do actually look like panel pins. A little bit bent, but still a nice piece. Awesome.
Welcome to a new feature for me, which is going to be based on the concept of themes rather than just me going over some stuff that I've found, which is interesting in itself, but try and add a bit to what K5 is doing. So I decided to do a little walkthrough of some models from my display case. So it's sort of from the display case, and the first one I'm doing is my favourite Matchbox superfast car, which is the Mod Rod from 1971, even though the copyright there is from 70. So rather exciting box artwork with all this wonderful graphics on there, really shouting. I could go into some detail about the box artwork, but that's another time perhaps. Here's the model, and lovely yellow, shiny. This I think I paid about £15 for, from one of the it was like Rockatron or something like that. And this model, you could have got it with red tyres, which I have got one, but it's not in such good condition. So the interesting thing about this model is that there's no steering wheel, something I've covered before. As you can see, there's a rivet point there, that circle, where the seat is the same piece of plastic that is the suspension unit. So they dispense with a steering wheel, which I think they just thought that nobody would really care about. And it was a good selling model, this one, from what I understand. Number plate on there. Whether or not that was actually an assigned number plate, we don't know. License plate, whatever you want to say. Whichever regional part of the world you're in. Sorry, I'm just going to try and get the focusing right. There you go. A lot of detail went into these actually for what were fantasy models. If you have a look, you've got a gear box end there, and you've got all the suspension and attempts to try and put a bit of detail in. It's all very much feature led, and this model came with stickers that could either be a cheetah, a leopard, wildcat. And one of the boxes slightly different. So that's that one. I'll put that in the background there, and then we'll move on to one that I actually received from Mr. Count 5 not that long ago, and it is the Whoosh and Push number 58, which again, this is 71, so that means it probably came out in 72. So we work on the basis that these copyright dates here would be the copyright, so when it had to be registered. But the actual release of these models would end up being about a year after that. So you can see there's always some changes between 1970 copyright, or 71 release, and 72 release. Desperately trying to keep these models fresh and exciting and different, so the graphics changed. And the Superfast logo. So they took it off the front and put it on the side. So it's on the front there in a different form, but on the side. So there's always There are people who do studies of the boxes. As you can see, the model's coming straight at you here, and then it's a side view here. So they were just trying lots of different ideas. Probably the same illustrator. Let's move on to the model itself. And here it is. I did a little bit of tarting up on this one because the chroming had gone off the wheel slightly, so I just tarted that up. This has got a steering wheel. Lovely number 2 on the back. I think I actually have covered this in a previous video, so I'm not going to go into enormous amounts of detail, but an interesting fantasy model, and that's one thing that ties these two models together. One, they're both yellow, and two, they're both fantasy vehicles. And then we'll move on to the Volkswagen. So again, this is coming straight at you. We've got a date on here which is 71. This is wonderful artwork, really, really nice. Although it has to be said, the accuracy of it is debatable. Don't know. I think that's pretty spot on actually. But you know, I suppose it was difficult for these guys to you know, work with what they had. But this is pretty good. Anyway, so back to the box. There's that Superfast logo that appeared on this one. So we have the same time period. These wonderful little illustrations that would tie you into what they thought the most important feature was. And here obviously it's the chromed engine with its scoop. This one, amazingly, it's the back end and the exhaust pipe. So I suppose it was a question of, they said, well, what's going to be the exciting part of the model? And they probably went, well, I don't know, the shiny bit. That's the shiny bit. I don't know. I think they just had to put something on there, and they just chose whatever they thought was of interest. So yeah, these little logos here are logos that they did for the track sets. So that is indicative of a timer. Okay, there's a timer unit, or the cars passed through and it clicked off a little timer. So they had other little logos as well, which you'll spot. So interesting thing to look out for. This packaging is just as interesting as the models themselves in a lot of cases. And here's the model. So it's based on, I think, probably the same casting as the little white rally car version that they did of the Beetle, because the headlamps pop through the casting from the base. And although there's probably a lot of variation of the actual model, but some of it would have carried through, I suppose, things like those door handles, etc. But this is a particularly attractive model, and again, doesn't have its steering wheel. So sorry about the focusing. But this isn't bad. You consider that this actually is, well, they would stay in production for a number of years, but this is at least 45 years old, and the paint is absolutely spot on. Chroming's slightly off in some areas, but it's pretty good. Nice and shiny under these lights here. These little googly eyes appeared on at least one other model on one occasion. I think it went onto the Ford Group 6 race car. But it was literally a case of what they had lying around, so if there weren't stickers available for one model, they would take it from another sticker sheet just to put something on whilst they were waiting for other stickers to come through, obviously if there was delays from the printers. So there you go, that's 3 from around about 71, 72 from the Matchbox Superfast range.
Right. Also picked up some new Matchbox. Bum, 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 bum. I think you've probably seen some of these in the video I did with Wade, or Radar 468, and I've got to open them up and we'll have a look around the pieces. Let's have a look at the probably my least favourite out of this batch, even though I like them all, otherwise I wouldn't have bought them. They're not cheap these days. Let's check this out. This is the 2000 Nissan Xterra Xterra. Wow. Cool. I like the lights on it actually. Kind of go with the packaging. They look really bright, aren't they? They're almost fluorescent. They're excellent. Let's have a look around. Nice kind of everyday car. It's got a roof rack on it as well. It's not a separate piece. No. I did have my doubts. It's an interesting moulding actually, because it's darker grey, so it's obviously a separate part. But it looks like it's part of the base. There we go. I did think, yeah, they've started putting the sizes back on the vehicles again. It says 159. Must have been a bit of an uproar. No sizing on the vehicles. Such a cool thing that they were doing with that. But it does look a bit luminous, doesn't it? Let's have a look. It's really bright. I mean, seriously, look at that. That is really bright. Wow. That's going to be interesting in the photographs. Let's do some night shots. That's wicked. And the badging up there, good bit of Nissan badging. Can't mistake that. And 4-door. It's very, very cool. It's got some great graphics on the back there as well. Xterra. Let's try and get it right in the light. There we go. That's better. That is lovely. Yeah, it's got all the necessary details you need, really. Nice interior. Oh, it's got some stuff in the back. Wow, look at that lot. I'm guessing that this person likes to go climbing. Maybe. Some rope or something. Is that rope? Wow. That is cool. Cool stuff. Reminds me, actually, I've got to clear at the boot of my car. Very nice. Very nice indeed, actually. Well, there we go. That was a nice surprise there from Matchbox. Brilliant. Love that piece. Looking forward to taking this one to America, because I am hoping that at some point I will be going to the Kennedy Space Center, and I'll be taking this one with me. Let's have a look at it. It's got a new boxing thing going down there. Oh, I like this. Let's have a look. Oh, nice. I've been waiting to get this one out. Now, the only bit of metal on it is this white section on top there with the NASA and the American flag. It's got space in there for astronauts to do their thing. Wow. The SEV Chariot. That's cool. Okay. Nice. I should imagine the real thing would probably have them interesting wire wheels. But I don't think Matchbox make those. Wow. It's got some bits on the back. It's interesting, just a random box left on this little cargo area. Oh, I like that. Yeah, it's a kind of survival pod. The lorry of the future. And I found this one, which I really, really like the look of. It's called the Camo Convoy. And it's cool because I didn't expect it to be so cool. It sort of reminds me of a military truck, and it's been done up in civilian mode, which is always interesting. Oh, look, top comes off and reveals quite an interesting interior. So there we go. The top is not a universal piece. Doesn't fit on anything else, I shouldn't imagine, for now. But you never know, Matchbox are doing that right now, changing things up a bit. It does look quite military, doesn't it? That sort of reminds me of a Eastern Bloc or German kind of, I don't know, delivery vehicle. Sits down the side there. That's wicked. I love all the bits on the side. All stuff, stowage areas and pipes, and very nice indeed. What sort of scale is that? No, nothing, no. Must be kind of a generic lorry, but it does look quite realistic, and I love the colour of it as well. Kind of takes me back to the old Moco blues that they used back in the days. Very nice. Expect to be picking this one up, the 2010 Ford F1 SVT Raptor in this really smart Golf livery. Had to get it really. It's kind of it's that one, isn't it? You get that special vehicle in the nice decals and you've got to get it. Really like that. Could have done with maybe some more work up front. Maybe that's something that the some of those customizers out there might do. Mark, for instance, and probably need some marker lights around the back. It does actually have the tow hook, which I think we need to try out. And luckily I do actually have a thingy, so we'll just connect it up and you can have a look and see what that looks like all as one. There we go, look at that. Does a good job. Probably not quite what it thought it was going to be doing today. It looks like it's supposed to be a race truck, doesn't it? Do the old Baja or something in that, but it can just about tow the trailer, which is awesome. So let's have a closer look at some of them decals. So yeah, it's very good. I like it a lot. There we go, it's mainly Matchbox. Love that Raptor on the side there. Nice bonnet decal. Basically the same decals around the other side. Yeah, looking good. Very nice. The resistance for me was to track this one down. As you know, I do like my buses and my coaches, and this one is awesome because it's a flashback to the past. So let's get it out and have a look. Wow, that is awesome. This is metal up top, plastic orange bits, plastic base. Lots of bits holding it down. The GMC Scenic Cruiser. And of course this is harking back and it's going with some of the some of what's going on right now at the Matchbox foundry, is they're recasting and reimagining some of their older vehicles. And I feel like I have the need to get the old one out.
Hello, this is a little quick-ish slot on the theme of some custom work that I've been working on or have finished recently. So I'll look at something that I finished recently or refinished, and that's this Matchbox Porsche 911 GT1, and I think I've shown this in a previous video. However, I have finally got the wheels that I wanted for this vehicle, or very close to, and these are, as you can see, metal with rubber tyres with wonderful fitting, which I've probably shown you before. And these are from a chap called Tom Walton, who has a little business called Walton Style Wheels, and you can find him on Instagram. So that's really helped to finish that one off, and that was a real beater. In other words, knackered. It's not got its rear wing, but I'm going to leave that because I tried putting one on and it looked awful. I've also sustained a bit of battle damage somewhere in storage. Never mind, it's not so bad on that side. The hazards of your own paint and not baked on in the factory. This is one that's nearly finished, and this is a Matchbox Saab Sonnet 3 from 1973. Again, I may have discussed this one or one similar before. This has got a respray from the metallic blue that it once was, and I put it on some 1980s Matchbox wheels, which I think suited quite well. I intend to put some kind of self-made decal on the side here that says Saab. So if you look on Google Images, you'll see the Saab Sonnet has some of them have got that. Orange was quite a popular colour in the 70s. So I've blacked in this part here, which was yellow plastic, which is also the interior, and I've painted in that interior from yellow to a sort of orangey red. There you can see what the original plastic lid was. It was that blue. Okay, so that's that. We painted in that rear bit as well. You can see another bit of damage there where it's knocked into something. Must be more careful. Painted in the lights, which are very small, and then that sort of chin bit there. So work in progress, nearly finished on that one. This is one that Chris, Mr. K5, Count 5, sent to me. It was a rather knackered one, and it was all painted inside. Sorry, it was all muddy inside. So it was all taken to pieces. Took off the rear hatch, put it onto another one, so I did it for another one I was doing. And as you can see, I've chromed in those headlamps. They look nice and shiny. That's with a super chrome pen. And it's going to need some wheels. I'm just working out which wheels to do. I may also paint in the interior because there's so much fun stuff in there, like a cooker, hob, and bits and pieces. So again, work in progress. And we're going to move on to two that I haven't started yet. This one here, which I picked up in a charity shop for 30p, and unknown Chinese manufacturer with a sort of rather anonymous coding on there. I believe that this is probably an old Yatming or similar casting. It almost certainly is based on a Brabham BT46 Formula 1 car from the 70s that had a rather interesting flat Alfa Romeo engine, hence there is no bulges there, but that is an engine of sorts. Check it out on Facebook, Google Images. Brabham BT46, various different guises. One of them actually had a fan on the back of it to suck it down for ground effect, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, again, check it out. My intention is to do something with this. I'm going to saw off this rear wing, make a new one, and then I'm going to put these wheels on it, which are, of course, Hot Wheels Easy Rider, Real Rider. Okay, wheels. I've got a big one. Stop boasting, Mark. Fanar. And a small one, so that it looks more Formula 1 or IndyCar. So that's going to look quite interesting when it's finished. So a sort of thing that you would Some people would look in a charity shop and just go, that's just junk. You've got to sometimes just look a little bit deeper with some of these things and realise the potential, and that has got great potential. I do remember having a Tamiya plastic kit of the Brabham BT46 back in the 80s. I think it was a 1/24th or even a slightly larger scale. Fantastic model, never got round to making it. Did a really good detailed engine though before it went off to, I think, charity or something like that. And we'll finish with this one here, and I have to blame someone called Matt Palmer, who is on a Facebook group that I'm on. He likes his mint and boxed stuff, and he had the auto transporter, which this is the cab for 1976 Matchbox Super Kings, and I like the cab because it's one of those sort of futuristic cabs from the 70s. Not based on anything real, or it could have been inspired by something real, I don't know. Typical Matchbox from that time period, all fantasy, avoiding any form of licensing or any problems there. But basically it has got two rather nice comfortable seats to drive in, and probably, I don't know what's between them there, but it looks like it's all push button controls, all typical space age 70s thing going on. And two enormous engines there, which almost certainly are big V8 blocks to power the thing, with its own windows so that it can look out as it pummels down the highway. 3 sets of horns and a towing point. Work in progress.
Right, it's not the best of shape, neither is that one, but it was actually in the day one of the most common models ever. So I never feel a rush to go out looking for these on the internet or anything, because you can find them pretty easily enough in the wild. You notice the slight difference between these is that this one has got water slide transfer on the side, and this one has got a sticker on the side. And also, obviously, that's super fast versus a black plastic wheel model. This is being carried over. This was, I suppose, it was originally released in around about 1965 or thereabouts. But it did actually prove to be one of their most popular releases in the day. So let's have a little comparison with this updated version. Wow. Surprisingly, it's almost identical in size. Wow. There you go. Like the larger window does seem to work really well there as well. Extra details. They've actually done a really nice job on the new one. It really does look the part. Almost identical, 3 windows. I believe the original was the actual vehicle itself. It was a 4-window vehicle, so that the Matchbox kind of have licensed themselves to give it the 3 windows. Yeah, so there you go. That's what it was all about. Love that piece. Wow. Everything. It's just brilliantly reimagined. And I was so chuffed to actually finally get it, because it's got history. Oh, look, it's even got wing mirrors. Brilliant job. Say that I'm loving this new artwork on the Matchbox boxes. It is just excellent. Wow, yeah, Matchbox really are upping their game and making that £2 price point right now in the UK acceptable. So if you are a card collector, then yeah, this is awesome. Not sure the scale of that picture with the bus though. I'm sure the buses are bigger than that, but loving all of it. All of it's really good. It's almost a shame to break them out of their boxes, but I think these ones would look better probably on long card. But it gives you a lovely imaginational moment when you look at them. So there we go, definitely Matchbox up in their game. Very nice indeed. It's like the true moon story.